8 days ago, I missed a sow at roughly 22 yards. Later that same evening, I missed a really nice 250 plus pound boar at 25 yards using my Parker Challenger 2 crossbow.
I quit. This crossbow is broken.
This is an entry-level crossbow, and it was exactly a year ago that I shot two really nice hogs up in Grayson County using this exact same setup. But as you can tell here, I am having a little bit of a problem, and it has nothing to do with the crossbow itself, but this sight. If you don't know, the ATN X sight is a very heavy night vision scope, and this is one of the first digital night vision models that ATN came out with. I actually had a Gen 1 night vision, and a lot of the material is pretty much the same. It's the same heavy bell that you've got on the front end, pretty heavy lens. This material is obviously set up differently, and the internal components are going to be a lot different than a Gen 1. But what's happening, and you'll see this once I take this off, this mounting system and where this is set up, something in here is not connected anymore. And the reason I've got these zip strips on here is to try to keep it down. But you can almost see that it's moving here just a little bit by doing this. But once I take this off, it definitely shows the flex. So I started searching online for a crossbow that has a very traditional mounting system like you would on a regular AR, because every crossbow that I look at has this exact type of setup, and it's going to result in the same type of an issue where no matter where I put the scope, the weight is going to cause that thing to eventually break or make this thing flex to where it's not shooting consistently. And missing a hog at 22 yards with a crossbow and at 25 yards just doesn't happen. So after doing my research, I came across this. This is the Killer Instinct SWAT 408, and if you look really carefully, actually, let's go to the bigger picture. If you look really carefully here, you've got a standard Picatinny rail, unlike the traditional crossbows that once I mount this heavy ATN scope on there, there's no way that's gonna flex. But if that's up there, where do you put the arrow? Look real carefully where the string is aligned. And the string actually goes all the way back to here. And here's the answer. It's internal. What the heck? 405 FPS. Literally snapped. I just checked the game cam, and we had a random group of piglets rush through about 30 minutes ago. This big boar hadn't been coming out till between 5:30 and 9:30, and it's 4:15 now, so hopefully I can get settled and get quiet before he hears me. It's really rare to have a bore that is this consistent coming in every night in the same time window. One of the issues that I was going to have is that he never stops and just kind of meanders straight through. I can spot him with my thermal at about 35 or 40 yards away, and I knew he wasn't going to stop. I tried to position my night vision crossbow, and this is one of the issues is that you get a lot of whitewash when you're relying on infrared light. And for the next 35 minutes, I can hear him walking around me, but I could not see him with my night vision crossbow, but I could see him with my thermal. I have thought about using a thermal on my crossbow, but one of the problems is there's a lot of vegetation and limbs that don't retain any heat, and the probability of you bouncing your bolt off of that vegetation or limbs is high. Use this video as an educational tool in trying to make a decision between a night vision scope that requires infrared light, whether it be Gen 3, digital night vision, or white phosphorus, versus a thermal. And stay tuned for my next adventure, and hopefully in 2019 I can get a hog down with this night vision crossbow.